All we show them is a dancer and a researcher coming into your school doing this thing, and then they're going out. Let's be able to show them what the research is about, where these resources are looking to go long term, where the dance is, what they mean, from how a dance and drumming, how they actually can heal the body. Without being able to get all that across to the teacher, what we're seeing is like a Wear Black History Month thing.
We got support made because of Black History Month, and people see they got to be supporting Black History Month. After Black History Month goes quiet.
They brought it in the 60s because there was nothing at all, and there was education was zero as for who am I as a black person. Now, 30, 40, 50 years on, we should be at a stage where this is conversation going on all the way through.
I want people to realise that it's not just a black thing, it's an us thing, yeah? Global thing, like we say.
The approach was to look at actually the pride and the culture of the continent before looking at the oppression. So a young black person or a young white person can look at the history and culture of Africa from a position of pride and unity rather than this sort of overbearing sense of oppression and poverty and all the rest of it.
Yeah, we always celebrate Black History Month in school.
We would be researching, like in the class we'd be researching on laptops and all this stuff.
We would be in the class doing projects, writing about a person like John Pinney, Rosa Parks and stuff like that.
Every year it's just the same thing, and it's quite boring. We're just looking at facts and writing them down. And here we're actually getting really involved in dancing and finding out facts whilst we're doing it.
I didn't think enough was being done on Black History Month, much less outside of it, in educating and giving a wider scope and a much more respect for the continent and what it's done for us, the world over.
It's definitely good to research about all of the famous black people, and not just the famous ones, the people...
Like everyone.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that can't be part of a normal curriculum study, a normal study in people's lives, which will just diffuse so much negativity.
It definitely needs continuation and more exposure. And because it's going to help a lot of children.
It will help. I don't know how much it will help, but if we do a bit, it might stretch further, but it will help. And it will help an individual, it will help a teacher, it may help a school, it may help a community.
You can't have any businesses, you can't have houses, you can't get high-paying jobs, but you're free. Is that free?
Yeah, a bit.
A bit, you're right, it's freedom, a bit. But is it a fair freedom? Is it what they spoke about?
We want to take it further than just Black History Month. It has to, in order for it to work. Otherwise it becomes tokenistic again. The Bristol City Council decided to support us this year and be partners with us based upon what they saw on the internet from last year's project. And the mayor was very keen to support the project.
George Ferguson was part of the anti-apartheid movement, the Free Nelson Mandela campaign, so he's got an interest in the subject, and there's two things. There's the emergent Bristol curriculum that he wants to look at in terms of education resources, and there's Nelson Mandela's legacy.
A lot of information and knowledge that I have gained is through my elders and the people that I know. In general, when it comes to African people's dance, there is a huge lack of resources available.
Combining visual with audio and readable information is beautiful.
94, but before that he broke the law. He was in prison for 27 years, but he stayed strong and never shed tears.
Most of the research questions are a sort of poetic response to a certain thing. The music video is different, and it's rap, which is a different kind of poetry, and it's hip hop, which is a different kind of music, although the roots are the same. And I think Rubber was probably a bit nervous about it because he likes the live thing, and Asafo as well, that performance. I'm on stage, there's an audience, and I'm challenged, whereas a music video is one removed from that, but it is a different kind of challenge, and it was a challenge for the kids.
Surfed this time and stood his ground. He turned South Africa around. Surfed
It's time, it's swift, it's round, it's Greta Thunberg.
The focus on Nelson Mandela was an interesting focus, but it's always a challenging focus, because what you do, decisions you make, they don't necessarily mean who you are. Nelson Mandela was a great man. Yeah, he had to make some funky decisions to kind of move what he thought was move forward. A lot of us don't quite agree with those decisions, but there's no reflection on the man himself. You know what he did and the lifestyle he brought and the struggle he was and how he represented the people. So to bring it up into the public eye, you want a discussion.
The whole problem with the Nelson Mandela thing is that if you scratch the surface of it, it's a very different story than it is if you actually get into it.
Whenever you talk of Nelson Mandela, everybody wants you to be happy. They never really want to take the other side. So automatically they want you to fit a particular stereotype.
All the people that gained from colonialism and from apartheid, all of them has managed to keep their gains and have been allowed in the 20 years with the so-called democracy to entrench their wealth.
The legacy of Nelson Mandela must really see that the man did want to provide equal change for a whole, and he achieved that. He achieved that by making sure that South Africa went through a democratic elected process, and therefore he's a great man for that. But he is not a great man for having provided political and economical freedom to the people that he served.
The guys have helped to bring a very real perspective on South Africa, and they've told me a lot of things from a South African perspective, which I thought from my own little world. They're telling me, yeah, of course, enough people are thinking, well, I'm still in Soweto. Look around me, I'm still a shanty town.
You still have people, even up until this point, who are still protesting for better housing, for toilets, for better education. So everything that was promised by Mandela and his administration, very little of that has come to fruition. You know, very little.
I met this English lady coming down the stage yesterday after seeing the Nelson Mandela film, and she was like, whoa, I just felt, for the first time she said, and she's been all over the place, been into Africa, she said, I felt from the impressed conversation, and it's the first time she'd really felt it. And I was like, to be honest, that's beautiful, because she goes, I just don't know what to do. It's like, no, you're already doing what you need to do, is that you're bringing it to me or to anybody you see and saying, it's not like you're to blame or you should feel, it's like, this hurts, what do you feel? We can have conversation.